We've got nice and comfy and
Don't be
nice
frightened,
and
Jason.
Yeah, good.
Not much interest this week, Jason.
You can actually see who's asking the question now. Hell.
Jace, how important that performance, I suppose, going forward for the next couple of weeks becomes the benchmark for this group?
Yeah, I think we've, to be fair, probably had a couple of benchmarks along the way in this competition. That was definitely a step forward. We acknowledge that, and we're, really satisfied with that. Knockout footy, it doesn't matter what the margin is. You just got to get across the line, and I thought the boys showed a tremendous amount of care, a lot of courage. We're brave when we needed to be, and we got the job done.
How do you go about overcoming, I suppose, the mental challenge of coming down from that high and, I suppose, all the circumstances that were surrounding this game, best team in the world, their 17-match, unbeaten streak, getting up for that, and then, I suppose, having to get up again for a semi-final with the Pumas?
Yeah, well, look, I think it's a balance of both between coming down off that, but also building on the confidence that the boys have got as well, because, we've got a bit of confidence, but by no means is there any arrogance with that. We will, prepare accordingly for Argentina, different team to what we played last time, so are we, and it's knockout rugby. So, in finals, you build those weeks to be right at your best mentally and physically at the end of the week. So that'll be a big part of how we prepare this week when we review that.
Jason,
How much of a challenge?
There was a draw there. Who am I going? There was a
I
deal.
always win. How much do you...
Marty, what do you got? No. Come on. Whoa.
no egos here, Jason.
No, everyone's real good.
How much of a challenge is it recovering from that sort of game, and given it's a short turnaround?
Yeah, it is. Look, I think a lot of that comes down to your language. If you say, well, it's a short week, everyone feels rushed. Reality is we're not going to get any fitter or stronger this time of the tournament. So it's a matter of freshening the minds and really sharpening that mental space and making sure the boys recover well and put in what they need to in their bodies and their minds to be at their best again on Saturday. So it's a balance, to be fair.
Jason, I know I'm a great respecter of history, and I know it's
love a stat.
bloody boring. I'm not a stat, mate. I want to go back again to last year where you came on board, we'd lost to Ireland, we had the Nelsprit test where we got belted up, then we had that magnificent performance against South Africa. All us fans, I think, thought, wow, the All Blacks are back on track, we've refound our mojo. The very next opponent was?
Argentina and Christchurch, yeah.
So does that occur to you again that this time, I know that all of a sudden this feeling seems to be that, oh heck, we're playing a game that we should win, but I keep thinking Argentina and Christchurch was our next game immediately after that. Does that come into your thinking?
Yep. It has actually. To be fair, you got to be honest around that, and it'll be probably a little bit talked around this morning. I think when we start previewing a little bit, but like I said, we're a different team. I guess they're a different team. We learned a lot in that game as well. David Kidwell, lead coach. I think I said it last time we played them. They put a lot into their D and their to slow our ball down. So we'll make sure that we readdress that and not assume anything.
How different are they without Pablo Mateta in their ranks?
Yeah, well, I think he's a big energy player for them. Pablo, he's awesome around the breakdown. But they've got Kremer who's there, who he never played in Mendoza, so he's another threat. The returning tight ends back, and a few other players that weren't in that test. So I don't think it's down to one player. To be fair, they all bring good energy and be the game of their lives, just as is ours.
What did you make of Argentina against Wales?
Yeah, it was even sort of contest, sort of swung back and forwards there a little bit. There was some good skill execution. Some of it wasn't so great, but the determination and the mindset from both sides was great.
Did Argentina look familiar, or did they look different to what you experienced last time?
Yeah, there's a couple of similarities there, but a few things that they probably changed as well that they're looking to evolve. You've still got to be evolving things during this World Cup. You can't just sit still and think it's just going to happen again. You've still got to have little tweaks in your game to be on the front foot, I guess.
You talked about the defensive system that had been somewhat designed for Ireland, and you changed it again for Argentina?
Can't tell you. We're always tweaking things in all parts of our game. we're always trying to evolve.
Jace, your forwards made a hell of a lot of tackles in that game. A lot asked of them physically. What did your review tell you about how they went and kind of how are they physically to get back up again this week?
Yeah, they're good. They are good. They they put a lot of work in yesterday, recovering and getting on the tables and getting their rubs and all that stuff that they do just outstandingly well. But it took the whole 20, the whole crew of us of the team to go right to the end, and we talked about that all week. We needed, I talked before around Kia, and we really dug in around the blackness of the jersey and the legacy, and that was a special one that I think sort of helped us in the end. So we just got to get this week right, and when we're on the grass, just get into the work that we need to and not overdo it, and just keep them fresh, sharp and happy.
Jason, heading into the weekend, there was a bit of chat. You would have seen, I'm sure, that there were perhaps predictions that we could have an all Six Nations semi-final quartet. Was that a bit of a statement from Southern Hemisphere Rugby over the weekend? I'm not sure. I think I hadn't sort of looked at it like that. To be fair, I think the games that I've seen, only seen bits of the game last night. But I think the speed, I guess, the Irish and the All Blacks game, that was right up there, the ball and play stuff. And you had two teams that just wanted to get stuck in and play the game of footy, and I thought it was great from that side of it. The bits and pieces that I saw of last night's game was probably a little bit different, but each team plays to their strength and they've got their own identity, and that's what makes World Cups good. Bit of a shock, obviously, last night. What did you, from what you have seen, what did you make of that last night, and what was the reaction within the team that France were out?
It's the reality of knockout rugby. It was like nothing's guaranteed. Here's a reminder, and this team's been there before, and they've been there, last week with the first final, and this week with our second final, and you just got to get everything right.
So can I ask another question? Sorry, I jumped in again.
That's you. You always mic'd up together? Or?
I just want to take you back to the emotion against Ireland, just in the box. I mean, we get to see lots of pictures of you guys, and you look as though you feel it like every other fan in the place, man. When you actually win a game like that, it's just an enormous thing. Just as you as a rugby guy, as a fan, as a Kiwi, and everything else.
I sort of get the balance not quite right myself. We end up smelling the liniment, That's. But I think you just got to be on at the right time in your own area and not ride the game, but also enjoy it when the boys score tries. How good.
Yeah.
You got to enjoy that, and it's a big part of, I guess, how I coach through my personality. So you got to enjoy it, and when you can.
How much of a challenge is the selection process this week, juggling act? Do you make a few tweaks for guys and empty the tank the other night, or do you keep momentum going?
Yeah, potentially. I think it is a bit of both around the momentum, but also, it's just having a look at the numbers and the metrics of what the boys played and who did the biggest shift and the most tackles. You've got to be smart there around that. But then there's the other side of it, Andrew, where you got guys that are, potentially playing in their last World Cup, that they just want to be out there and give everything they can. So it's a mix of both, really. I answered that really politically, didn't I?
Speaking of that, Jace, a guy like Sam Whitelock, 151 tests now, and he's been given this role on the bench, and he comes on and makes the play to, seal the game. And what does that sort of say about, I guess, accepting roles and accepting what your current reality is?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, Sammy, and along with other guys, we've got guys that are finishing games for us at the moment for that test. Not to say he won't pull in this test, but he's just such calming influence. He can square up the room as well. He can put the room on pretty good edge when he needs to. But I think with that game, having him out in the end, and just some of his messages that he was working with Skip and the other leaders, and Artie and Richie, it's just totally invaluable, really.
Jason, what does Mark Talaya need to do to put himself back in the selection picture this week?
Well, he's injury-free, so he's just got to train well and do everything right. That's well and truly behind us now, and he's handled that very well.
Did Leicester's performance sort of complicate that picture at all for you? He obviously took his opportunity on the left wing, but Mark's been sort of the incumbent in that position. Did that complicate the picture at all?
No, I don't think so. I think that Leicester's, the opportunities that he's had in this World Cup he's taken, and as a lot of boys have. So it just makes it I guess that more satisfying for selectors that we can have good, hard, robust conversations to make sure we pick the right team.
Jason, just on Sam, given his legacy, when you talk about his input and screwing up a room, is that he stands there and gives advice to the guys or lays down a marker? Can you give an insight?
He's just honest. He doesn't avoid things, and sometimes the timing's not that good. But it's for him and I, we've had some great, robust discussions. But he makes me a better coach. If I'm perfectly honest, he makes sure that I'm on, and I challenge him to be better. And even though he's played 151 odd tests, he still wants to be better. So it's my job to make sure that I'm doing that as well, so that we can raise the bar both ends of it, I guess.
Does anyone dare rein him in because giving
Dead right. Yeah, we have honest convos all the time. It's what the All Blacks is about. It's called high performance.
Is there any, just to clarify, no injuries or any injuries or bumps and bruises that anyone have been down?
There's a few bruises, a few bumps, but no, everyone's fit and available. Get through the week and have a good crack at it this weekend.
Your first World Cup with the All Blacks, is it everything you thought it would be? Is it more intense?
Yeah, I just feel really privileged to be here. I think you're just constantly giving and trying to be better yourself. The expectations are extremely high, but you wouldn't want it anywhere else really. It's what the jersey's about, and it's what it demands of us every week, and you can't sugarcoat anything, and you get on with it. I think that the pressure side of it, this is when it just gets that little bit higher, but that's a privilege. I guess the most successful people in the world have got privilege in their lives. The more pressure, the better. So that's where we want to be this week, and we're looking forward to tackling it head on.
It's a long way from Sydenham Park on a cold Thursday night to Stade de France, and 80,000, isn't it?
Yeah. Different sort of crowd on the sideline too, to be fair.
More sober in France than Sydenham.
No, they're probably a bit more direct than Sydenham. He's keeping down to earth there and walking into the rugby club. But I think I've said at every conference, the crowds and the way they get behind this World Cup is just unbelievable. It's so good. Looking forward to this game.
Last question, guys, because it's hamburgers for lunch, so we're getting into it.
Just about the line-out drive, more obviously you've got games there at times against Ireland. A couple of times you put under pressure as well. What do you see that at among pressure?
A little bit of risk and reward there with a couple of things we did, I guess, defensively, and had a good chat to Paul O'Connell after the game around what they were sort of trying. He's a good man and got a lot of respect for him, and he saw a couple of little wee things there, and vice versa we shared, and that's what it's about. You're always trying to be better and ask questions with other coaches, but I think there's a couple of things that we definitely could have got better, and when we had our man in the bin, how we could have defended there, so we'll get on top of those.